Okay. Says that I'm live. We'll see if this one works. Alright. We're here. I'm just gonna fuck around with these filters while we're waiting. Whoa. Oh man. Wow. Some of these are rough. Okay. So. Done playing with filters. Hello. Today I am going to be discussing a couple of things. First is that, my uploading schedule will be a little irregular for the next, hi sweet Susie, for the next, 2 or 3 weeks, because I'm going to Arkansas, where my family is, which to some might sound like a good time, to me not so much, but, we'll see how it works, and since I'm going to Arkansas, I will not be able to upload regularly. I'll only be there for a week, but the week that I'm there and the week that I come back are going to be a little hectic and a little, occupied, busy, I don't know, but, yeah, so that's what's going on with me. That's why I'm doing this live video, so that, I can explain why it's going to be a little regular. So, I'm going to be uploading this live video today, and I'm going to be also uploading another tag today, because I'm not going to be here next week, so there will be 2 videos today. Lovely. But, aw, thank you. I am gonna try to have fun, because my family's a little cuckoo crazy, but that's okay. Whose family isn't a little cuckoo crazy? But yeah, so, the coolest thing about me going to Arkansas is that place compared to where I live. I live in Southern California, LA area, big city, urban population. Where I'm going is all trees, all forest, all natural water, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. That's the thing that I'm excited for. But, yeah, so, that is why I'm doing this video right now. If you hear noise in the back, it's because my sister's being my sister. And yeah, so now I'm gonna do the tag, which is in the title of this video, and then after I do the tag, I'll get to some questions that I have for you people watching. So far only one person is watching, but that's okay. Hopefully more people will join. If not, you'll watch this back later. So the tag that I'm going to be doing right now is the Grumpy Witch tag, as it is called. I don't understand why it's called that, because yes, the questions are a little negative, but I'm not in a particularly grumpy mood. Hello, random. Nice to see you. So yeah, I'm going to be doing the Grumpy Witch tag. Again, I don't know why it's called that, because I'm not in a grumpy mood, and usually when I watch people doing this, it's not a very grumpy tag. The questions are a little negative, but I wouldn't call it grumpy. But I don't know who made this tag. I watched Roller Derby Witches and Caffeinated Witches videos on this, and I was like, which one of you made it, if one of you made it? I don't know who made it, but I'm going to be doing it now. So, there you go. The first question is, what is your least favorite time of year magically? Summer, right now. I'm the type of person who's very happy in the winter. I can never really get things done in the summer because it's too hot for me to move. Yeah, this tag is fun. Try it. But yeah, sorry this lighting is terrible. I'll try to find some better lighting. But, is this the light? Sure. So, yeah, my least favorite time of year magically is the summer, because I just feel stuffed up and suffocated because of the heat. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just me, but my magic tends to flow a bit more in the winter, which is strange because I'm born in the summer. I'm a Cancer. I was born in the month of June, so I feel like I should be nicer in the summer, but it's not. I get very testy in the summer too. I'm already a mega bitch, but I become way bitchier in the summer. Things just get out of hand. I don't listen to Lana Del Rey, but you could call it summertime sadness if you wanted to. But yeah, that's my answer to the first question. I really don't like the summer. Second question, what's an herb you don't like working with and or doesn't work well in your practice? Peppermint. I really like most members of the mint family, but peppermint just does not work for me in anything. It's not that it doesn't work, I don't get the same kick out of it that I might get out of some other herbs that do similar, if not the same thing. Yeah, peppermint's okay. I'm not a fan. A stone or crystal you don't like using or doesn't work for you. I don't really like using jet all that much. I know that might seem a bit strange, but jet is a crystal that doesn't really connect with me ever. I have tried using it because I've seen it do some great things for other people and be very powerful for other people, but for me it's like, yeah, I'm not on the same vibration frequency or whatever with jet, which I need to watch Random's new video with her husband in it and learn about crystals more, because I saw that and I didn't have time to watch it, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool thing, I need to watch that. But yeah, so jet is a crystal I don't connect with very well. Anything that bothers you about your deity or practice? That question, when I was writing it down, I was like, is there anything? Because little testy question, but if you don't know, I work with the Morrigan. I feel like I make that pretty well known, but I don't like when she's silent. It bothers me when she goes into her silent watcher phase, and I know that's like a thing about her, that she like does that to people, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. I get like really bitter when that happens. I'm like, wait, mommy can make, I want attention, but she's like, no, fuck you. Yeah, so nothing really, except I like the attention, and when it's not there, I feel a little bothered, I suppose. What do you do when a spell doesn't work? I've never really had a spell not work for me. I've had a spell backfire or have a different outcome, but I've never had it not work for me. And it says I have a bad connection right now, so I hope... Oh no. I wonder why that happens. Is this better? Okay. Well, it says I have a very bad connection, so... Hi, Mirror Morning. If the connection is bad, please someone say something so I can try to find a better spot. But, yeah. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, I've never had a spell that doesn't really work for me. I've had a spell have a different outcome than expected, and a worse outcome than expected, I suppose. Like, because I used to wear a shielding spell that would hide me from others. It was like an invisibility spell. I would put it on like a cloak every day, and it worked just how I wanted it to, but then the right people were not paying attention to me. Like, the people I needed to notice me and notice my work and stuff were kind of sweeping me under the rug. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, fashion videos. I should do some fashion videos. I'm gonna get to that, actually. That's gonna be after I finish this tag. I'm gonna get to videos in the future. I have some questions that I want to ask you guys. But, yeah, that'll be after the tag. I'm gonna try to remember that. But, yeah, so that didn't work for me. I got kind of swept under the rug. It was very messy. And by the time I noticed it, it was kind of too late. Like, the recognition that I needed from people, I didn't get. So that's the only time the spell has ever really not worked for me. But what I do in that situation is I take it down, or I get rid of it or something. I don't know. Yeah. Have you ever done a meditation or astral work that did nothing for you? Yes, and I won't say who made the meditation, because I am obsessed with this person, and it's the only one that hasn't worked for me. I mentioned her. She's one of the people that I started that when I first started watching YouTube, she was one of the first people that I watched. But she had a meditation, and I would try it every night, and it just wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't be able to like get into it, and I've been known to I make my own meditations as well for like other people when they want to do guided meditations, just like my friends and stuff. And those don't work for them all the time necessarily. So, yeah, meditation's a weird thing. It's weird. And you have to like get the right one for the right people, but I've only had one meditation not work for me. Is there an element that just doesn't work for you? I really can't get into air for some reason. My natal chart is like all earth and water, so I try to work with earth and water as much as possible, and those tend to work best for me. But fire is like okay for me. I actually do a lot of fire magic, I've realized, but it's like not as powerful as earth or water magic in my experience. But air magic, connecting with the element of air is just something I find very difficult. It used to be easier for me because I worked with like Fae a lot, and I associate Fae with earth and air. Now I associate them more with earth though, so that might be why it doesn't necessarily work for me when I associate them with air. But yeah, air is something that I have a really hard time connecting with, which is so strange because one of my closest friends who is getting into witchy magic, immediate connection with air. I was like, how does that feel? But yeah. How do you get out of a witchy rut? I waited out. It's like, I don't know, because when I get into witchy ruts, I just try to like look at other people's videos and see like, how do they get out of it? What do they do? And I haven't been able to find a strategy that necessarily works for me. So, I'll let you know when I find out. I may make a separate video on that topic of witchy ruts, but that'll be when I have an answer, because I don't right now. Yes. How do you deal with life getting in the way of your practice? When I was writing down that question, it was a very strange question to me, because life is life. Life gets in the way of a lot of things, and a lot of things get in the way of life. So that is a very strange question to ask. Because I don't really think life does get in the way of your practice. I think you practice when you need to practice or when you want to. Like, you make time for it, and if you don't make time for it, then you don't do it. So, I don't know. I make a lot of time for my practice, in particular, and life doesn't really get in the way of it. That also might be because I'm a very bored person, and I don't do much, so, yeah, that's probably it. What do you do when you have all these negative feelings about your practice? I draw. I channel them into artwork, and then I also try to like face them. So if I do have a negative feeling about my practice, I try to work with it. Like, oh, I don't really like this. I'm gonna try to work with it even more. So last month in May, that was like the peppermint month for me. So like peppermint is an herb I don't really connect with. So May, I was working with it the whole month. I'm still waiting to do that with jet. I gave away my jet crystals because they did not work out for me, but maybe some other time. So yeah, that was the Grumpy Witch tag. I have all the questions written down in front of me, and I have them in the description box below. And I know some people in the chat were like, I'm gonna do this video soon. Yes, do this video soon. Great, great. I think it's interesting because at the end of this tag, you think like, okay, what do I do with all these negative emotions? That's the last question on the tag. So I really like it when you have to like look back and think, okay, what can I do about this to make it better? Because I'm always looking for solutions to make things better. Like in work, if you come to your boss with a problem and not a solution, that's typically not a good thing. So when there is a problem, I try to think, okay, before I talk about this, before I deal with this, I need to come up with a solution and then address the problem, if that makes any sense. But I don't make a lot of sense often. So there's that. Okay. Now to the questions for you people. So this is chat. I'm going to need your help, chat. And if you're not watching this live, commenters later, please let me know. But basically, what do you guys want to see from me? I don't know what to do half the time with this channel. Like, I could just like pick a topic and talk about it, but I feel like that would just get really rambly. And like I said in my last video, I try to keep them as short as possible. Like, we've been going for 15 minutes, and that is a long video in my opinion, but, oh, is it still working? It says I have a poor connection. If anyone's in the chat, please tell me this is working. Because, I don't know, I can't, yeah, I can see the chat, but I don't know if it's working or not. Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking. If it's not working, please say something. If it is working, please say something so I know. But, so, now I'm gonna ask you. Oh, you can still hear me? Okay, perfect. Can you see me, though? Am I moving? If not, that's fine. The voice is all that matters. But, yes, so, future videos. So, all I've been doing really is tags and, like, things that I see other people doing on YouTube, and, like, I want to be a bit more original with my videos. So if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see, okay, thanks, Mary. Because, like you said, fashion videos, I am, as I think I've mentioned on here before, I'm the creative director of a fashion show. So if you guys want to see, like, videos on that, I can. And I can relate it back to witchy shit, because everything I wear has to do with witchy shit, so there you go with that. And, yeah, I can do whatever you guys want, honestly. Like, I said a long-ass time ago that I was gonna do random witches tag for, like, witchy glamour. The only way I can do that is if I film it on my phone and then edit it, and there's not enough space on my phone to, properly film that video. So, before, like, that's makeup, though, so before I do that, I'm gonna need to make space on my phone, but that's coming eventually one day, I promise. And then, yeah, all I've been really doing is a bunch of tags, so I would like to do more. Thanks, Mary. She said, I love your style. I would love to see fashion and makeup as well. Witchy lifestyle. Yeah. So, like I said in a previous video, everything I wear, everything I do, all my makeup, all my everything has to do with witchy shit. So, if you guys want, I can explain that. I can also, here's something that somebody suggested to me. Like I mentioned, I draw and I paint and I do that shit. So I can also do, like, an art video if you guys want, but here's the thing about that. My art is very, I call it juvenile. It's not exactly conventional, it's not exactly realistic, it's just kind of cartoony. All the jingles, yes, hi kitty. I'm all jingles. I wear so many chains and so many necklaces every time I walk anywhere. It's just clink, clink, clink. When my dog is walking down the hall, my mom thinks it's me. So, yeah. So I can either do fashion, I will do fashion videos probably. I can do art videos where I, like, showcase my art, but the thing about that is I feel like that's kind of bragging, but at the same time I get very self-conscious about my art. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, please let me know so I can do that, but as of right now, I don't have very many ideas. Which, again, it's that fucking summer thing. I can never do anything in the summer because my brain is just, like, on overload from everything that's happening. Especially this month of June. It's been very, like, I can't snap, but it's been very progressive and very fast, and everything just goes through and just piles on. But anyways, yes. So I can do that. You're right, art is expressive. Okay, so maybe I'll do an art video too. Thanks for the suggestions, thanks for the agreements. But, I actually want to know, other than art and fashion, is there any, like, topics that you would like me to go over from my personal perspective? Because if you weren't already aware, I do have an online Instagram sort of Book of Shadows thing. I have it linked in the description always. And that's not my personal Instagram account. That's, like, specifically for my art and for my witchy shit. And I cover a lot of topics on there, so do you guys think I should do, like, videos based on each post that I've done, or do you have, like, questions that you want to know like my perspective on. I don't know how to word this properly. If you haven't noticed, the English language is kind of something that escapes me often, but yeah, I don't know what to do. I will do fashion videos. I will do art videos, for sure, because I have now been encouraged to do so. Thank you, Mary and Katie. But yeah. Also, I could do more Morrigan videos, which I've been kind of getting like the itch to do from her, because I sense a theme amongst Morrigan. Yeah, my own language. Kitty says, "Me too. I have my own language, so understood." Yeah. Yeah, so I can do more Morrigan videos. I think I've noticed something about her. She really likes to be talked about. So, like, we have Joey Morris, we have Laura Daligan, we have Eric Silverman, we have now Random Witch, we have so many YouTubers who talk about the Morrigan and who are children of the Morrigan. I think she really likes being talked about, especially this year. Yeah, she's queen, duh, says Kitty. You're absolutely right. But I feel like recently her energy, that more warrior-esque energy, has, like, come back into society, because now more than ever I feel like well, not now more than ever, but I feel like right now we feel as a community the need to fight for positive things and for like equality and all that good stuff. So she's very much coming into the fold for the rest of the society, whether they know it or not. Like, I've been seeing posts all over Facebook and everything, like, the storm is coming, or the storm is here, bitch. Like, it's time to, like, rise up and fight and all that shit, which I'm perfectly down for. But, yeah, so I might do more Morrigan-esque videos, but I don't know how to talk about her, because she like, tells me, I want you to talk about me, but I'm like, how? What do you want me to say? Like, because if I just babble and I go on, it ends up being a fucking 45-minute video, like my Raise Each Other Up thing. So, I don't know. I could talk about her more, and I probably will, but, like, I don't know what to say. I recently, one of my friends said, you should say, like, how she came to you originally and how you realized it was her, which I could either talk about that right now, or I could do a whole separate video on it. You guys let me know, please. There are, I think, 3 of you in chat right now. Ooh, that is a good question, and I'm writing that down. Kitty says, how do you view yourself as a warrior? That is a bomb-ass question. Have you done a video on candle magic, says Mary. No, I have not. Simply because I don't know if I am, like, do you mean just talking about it, or, like, actually performing spell work? Because I don't know if I'm, sorry, the camera's shaking, I'm scratching my hand. I don't know how, I mean, I know how. I don't know if I feel comfortable yet, expressing, sorry, I'm writing things down that people are writing in the chat. I don't know if I'm comfortable yet expressing and showing how I do spells, because that is something that's very sacred to me. I've only ever done a spell in front of someone once, and it was for them, so it was easier and it worked, but yeah, I would do a video on candle magic. Yeah, just talking about it? Yeah, okay, so I'll probably do that then. And who knows, my tune might change. I might end up eventually doing a spell on camera, because I do like watching people do that. Like Lady Leanna of Eclectic Spirituality, I think is her new channel name. She does it really well. I love her ritual videos. Random Witch just did her I think it was called When You Knock, I Answer. That video completely slayed me. I was like, yes, bitch, you get them. But I do like watching people do videos like that. If you watch Lady Grave Dancer, she did that death oil thing recently, and she does a bunch of those kinds of videos. I'm rambling. Take a breath. So yeah, my tune might change, and I might end up doing those. But yes, I will definitely do a video on candle magic eventually. I'll probably film that when I get back, that week that I get back, that I won't be uploading, but, yeah. So, where was I? Shit. Okay, let me look back in the chat. Yes, Katie says, oh yeah, that would be great, do it, tell how Mama Morrigan came into your life, I would love to know. I could talk about that right now, instead of making a separate video. You can start your Morrigan talks about dressing a candle for it. That would be smart. Thank you, Wolf Ravenhampton. I'm writing that down. Do you guys want to know right now how Morrigan came into my life? Because I'm perfectly willing to do that, but I don't want this video to take up too much of your day. So let me know. Oh, I'm having like extreme deja vu. Like I feel like I had a dream about this. Yeah. I'm up for it, sure. It depends on if you guys have the time or the energy to listen to me babble. So, let me start at the very beginning because that's a very good place to start. Okay. So, Morrigan. Well, okay, so when I first started this path, I was 10, as I've said in previous videos. That was my research year. The age 10 to 11, I just did a bunch of research. I did, like, little candle magic, but I didn't do anything really serious. And what I did during that first year mostly was search for deity. Now, when I talk to other people, I always recommend, like, you don't have to know your deity straight off the bat. You don't have to find your matron and patron, like, right away. But that is what I did, because I thought it was a good idea. Okay. I started working with Celtic Pantheon immediately. I knew that was my jam. I kind of wanted to work with Hecate in the Greek Pantheon, but I just kept feeling the call to my Irish ancestry. So I started working with the Celtic Pantheon, and I worked with Breed, or Brigid, or Bridget, or however you want to say it. She was the first deity that I started working with, and I thought that she was my matron because if you've worked with her energy before, she's, in my opinion, she's kind of a welcoming deity. She's a lot of people's intro deity into the Celtic Pantheon, especially children of the Morrigan. While I do find Breed very badass, I think she's more nurturing and more like the comforting mother energy, which she's also a triple goddess, so that kind of led me into the Morrigan. But yeah, so I started working with Breed, and she was very nice, very lovely, and then one time I was doing a meditation with her. This was after I had started working with her, after that beginning year. I was doing a meditation with her, and then Morrigan came in, like, all ravens about her, and this, Morrigan came to me as Babe first, so she came in with that white hair, and that red lipstick, and I actually have a painting of Babe over there that I did, but, yeah, she came to me like that, and she had, like, a sword on her back, and she was surrounded by crows, and I was like, who the fuck are you? What are you doing here? This is not what I was trying to deal with today. And there's movement. She was like, listen, I'm here for you. I'm coming for you. And Breed vanished. She was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave you with her now. I was like, no, 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 no. So, I'm gonna be honest, my ass was scared. I was really, really scared to work with her because when I was researching in that beginning year, I had seen her name and I was like, ooh, Dark Goddess, that sounds lovely. And then I read more about her. I was like, oh, she sounds terrifying. I don't want to deal with that. That's a lot. So my bitch ass was like hiding under the covers, like, please no, I don't need this. And of course I did need it, but I didn't address it. And then she, sorry, there's so much noise in the back, if you can hear that. She kept sending signs at me, and she kept, like, coming at me, in, like, dreams and stuff. And I would always wake up, and I would always close myself off to it, because I was like, no, I don't like this. But then I heard a song by Arch Enemy called You Will Know My Name. And at that point, I actually did not realize it was Morrigan. I just thought it was this badass death goddess. I was like, yeah, so I heard the song by Arch Enemy called You Will Know My Name. I think that's what it's called. If there are any metal listeners out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I was like, wow, this song is really good. And as soon as I went to sleep listening to that song, and there she was immediately in my dream. She didn't come to me as Babe this time. She came to me as Morrigan, as like how I see her, which she never comes to me with like the conventional red hair, green eyes, that sort of thing. She's always like black hair, black everything. That's how she comes to me, like drenched in crow feathers, all that good shit. And she does have green eyes, but like not the red hair. But anyways, so I fell asleep listening to that song, and she came to me and she was like, okay, bitch, it's time for you to finally acknowledge me. Guess what my name is? And, oh, girl, Mary Morning said, how can you fall asleep to Arch Enemy? I fall asleep to anything. If you play music in my ear and I am, like, trying to take a nap, I will knock out. I think Elisa White Glutz's voice is soothing. But, yeah, so she was like, guess what my name is? And I was like, I don't know. Tell me, what is it? And she said, no, bitch, you have to guess. So I was like, okay. Well, you're probably Morrigan, right? And she was like, yeah, duh. And then, in short, she said like a whole speech to me, which I will not get into because I'm getting the don't talk about it. But, she said, I'm sorry, I'm shaking so much, I'm gonna try to put you down. She said, wake the fuck up, basically. She was telling me to open my eyes, just, like, get into it, start working, with her. And so I woke up from that nap, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to, because I knew she wasn't gonna leave me alone. So I started doing that, and then, when I started working with her, actually, was when I started to actually hear messages from deity. Like, normally when I would get a message from a deity, it would be through, like, symbols or noises or, like, birds or something. Like, before I started working with her, there were crows around my house all the time, like, covering my car, covering my, like, the trees outside my house. They were everywhere all the time. And I know she is not the only deity associated with crows. I'm not about to get on that tangent. But, yeah, so that was a thing. And then, when I did start working with her, the crows, like, lessened around my house. So I was like, okay, that means I'm doing the right thing, I guess. They were still there to, like, let me know yes and no to things. But, oh, there's one outside my window right now. I guess I'm talking about the right shit. But yeah, she encouraged me, like, I would go on meditations with her, and she would be completely silent until I'd be like, what am I supposed to be doing? Yeah, because, I don't know how to explain this, but I'm a very, oh, shit, sorry, I'm a very, like, go with the flow kind of person, I suppose, and there was no real flow for me to follow. I had to, like, make my own flow. That's what she wanted me to do, but I didn't realize that. So I'd be like, bitch, what am I supposed to do right now? I would never address her as bitch, by the way. Get my ass whooped. But, she just told me, like, do your own thing. Figure it out yourself. And I was like, okay, that's fantastic. So that was when I started, like, drawing. That was when I started playing with makeup. I just did my own thing. I did what I wanted to do. And then she went silent. She did that thing that bothers me so much. Pixie Doo said, I did not want to see she was contacting me. Boy, did she smack me straight. Exactly. Yeah, she was like, bitch, I'm right in front of you. You're gonna acknowledge me. Mary Morning says the only time I've gotten signs from her was when I was on the wrong path. I've corrected that path of my life, so I don't hear from her often now. Yeah, I totally understand that. I feel like that's her experience with a lot of people. She's, if you've seen, this is going to be a horrible example, but if you've seen, like, specific episodes of Family Guy, I know that's so ridiculous, but there's always that Spider-Man thing that comes by, and he's like, everybody gets one, and he like always saves someone from death, and he's like, everybody gets one. I feel like that's how Morrigan acts sometimes. Like, if you're on the wrong path and you're having trouble, everybody gets one. She swoops in and she's like, okay, I'm gonna set you straight, bitch, and she does. Let's see here. Wolf Irvin said, LOL, I had them ramming my car. I ran for 7 years. Yeah. It's very easy to run from a death goddess who's badass and scary and is throwing crows and signs at you. Yeah, I don't know what her thing is with cars. I always hear that with people. They've got birds, crows, and blackbirds on their cars, always. I suppose it's symbolic of her always trying to be with you and traveling with you at all times when you need her, or something like that. I'm not about to get too deep with that. Pixie Doo says she always sends me puzzle pieces and then leaves me to solve the puzzle. It makes me stronger. Exactly. I feel like that's actually a technique that I do during spell work. I close my eyes and I see a puzzle in my brain, and one of the ways that I make a spell, or I make a spell work, is I connect the pieces of a puzzle and I figure it out, and of course she's the one throwing the damn pieces at me, so there's that. I'm gonna try to prop you up again because I know my hand is shaking a lot. Kitty said, I don't have birds on my car, so I think I'm an exception. Yeah, probably. I'm not saying it like happens for everyone. I'm saying like that's a theme that I've found. If you have read, what is that book called? It's like Working with the Dark Goddess, Celtic Lore with the Morrigan, something like that. It's like a green cover book. She, in it, as the authoress, she said how, cars, she had birds all over her car too. This is just something that I hear often, and it happened to me as well. It has a bad connection. Let's hope that goes away. Oh, shit. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. Yeah. Happens for a lot of people. I don't know why. Anyways, so, yeah, that's how she showed up in my face. And then she went into that silent phase that I hate so much. I really, really, really hate it when she goes quiet, because I'm a little bitch, and I like attention. Oh my god. Sorry. I feel like she likes attention a lot too, though. So, there's that to consider. But, okay, I'm gonna keep moving you. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find a good spot. Whatever, that's fine. So, yeah, she likes attention. I like attention. Let's get along. So, I feel like when she went into that silent phase for the first time for me, I was like, what is going on? My life is over. I can't function. What is happening? And she was like, bitch, get it together. She didn't tell me that because she was in her silent phase, but I know that was what she was saying. She was like, you can do this on your own. You had a life before I came along. Like, what are you doing? Idiot. And I went into a very dark phase in my life, and she just sat back and watched it all happen, which I actually really appreciate that now, because I got through it a lot myself, and that was what built up the warrior in me. Stomping. Sister stomping. Okay, so when I think back on it, I'm like, okay, I needed that experience, obviously. Did I like it? No. Did the people around me like it? No, because I was a bitch. And I still am, but I was more of a bitch. And then, yeah, and then when it was over, she was like, now do you understand? Now do you accept the path of the warrior? And I was like, okay, I guess. And then, because I said I guess and not a definite yes, she went away again. Hi, Simplistic Witch. Pixie Doo said she told me, "You've got this, don't call me for simple crap." Exactly, that's how she is with a lot of people. She's like, "Bitch, don't summon me just because you can. You gotta have something for me to do." So, because I said, I guess, she went back into silent phase and I had to deal with myself again. And before, like, throughout my entire journey with her, only this year did I start to actually grow as a human being and actually learn what she was saying. So it's been 7 years, and only just now have I started being like, okay, I understand. This is what's happening. All right, because I used to be a very, very quiet person. I never spoke up about anything. I never fought for myself. And I really wasn't a warrior. I was just kind of a sit back and watch kind of person. And now, excuse me. Oh, I also used to be really fake. Oh my god, excuse me. That is something that she changed in me as well. I was very fake. I was a fake bitch. I would lie to your face, and then I'd go to somebody else, and I would lie to their face. It was a mess. Mensa. ¿Qué quieres?
What does that mean?
Mensa? Idiot. ¿Qué quieres? Go away.
Who's watching you?
This is my sister. Say hello, everybody.
There's only 3 people watching you.
I know, I'm not that popular. There were 4, and then you came in and ruined it.
Who are they?
Go away.
Can you tell?
No, you need to leave. I'm sorry. Anyways, I was a fake ass bitch. Now, I've become more real. I've become very honest. I've stood up for myself. Yeah, 2 sisters, says Kitty. It's rough. She's my twin, actually, so, little bitch. But, yeah, so I've become more of a warrior. I've been able to stand up for myself in situations more. I've been more assertive. I've forced people to notice me. And yeah, I've just become I've become a more rounded person. I wouldn't say a better person, because I'm still an awful cunt, but, Simplistic Witch, I have a twin too, yeah, twins, and we actually look nothing alike, really. I look, more like my mom, and she looks more like my grandma, but, yeah, we don't really look alike that much, but I digress. Yeah, see, I'm a more rounded person, not a better person, because I'm still a vicious cunt all the time, to a lot of people, but, especially her, speaking of my sister, I'm awful to her. Yeah, I don't know what it is with those fraternal twins. I feel like, I don't know how to say this. I don't know, I was about to go off on a tangent about twins and paganism, but, something interesting about my twin, this is her first life, so, I believe in past lives very strongly. I'm like, yes, definitely. This is her first one, and it's very obvious to me. She makes a lot of, yeah. And I find that very interesting, because people don't talk about people who are having their first life in this lifetime. People are always like, oh, reincarnation, you've had past lives. I'm fairly certain, and I've done meditations on this, and I've tested it out, and I'm fairly certain this is her first life, which is very interesting that I have had past lives, and I only came into this one with a literal twin. I think that's interesting. Looking at the chat here, Pixie Doo says, I could care less if people notice me, but I have learned to be me, take it or leave it. Exactly. What I meant by people noticing me is, in professional and business situations and in school situations when I needed recognition for something, and I needed to be noticed to get places, to advance in my business and in school. And I wouldn't get noticed, like I mentioned earlier, when I was doing the tag, I had a cloaking spell, and it kept me invisible from all the right people, or it kept me invisible from the wrong people, whatever. It kept me invisible, and the people that I needed to notice me were not noticing me, and so in order to advance, I needed to learn to be more assertive. I took down that invisibility spell. I only use it if I'm in like a dangerous situation, but yeah, so that's a mess. Let's see what the chat is doing. Mary Morning says they are high vibration usually. She does have very high vibrations very often, all the time, in fact. Yeah. And I don't hear people talking about that a lot. Like, everyone, like I said, everyone's like, oh, in my past life, I was this. And I've had quite a few past lives, but this is her first one. And she's my twin sister, so hopefully in the next life she is as well. And hopefully she learns something in this life, because she's a goddamn mess, to be perfectly honest. And now my dog is barking. That's confirmation, though, because my dog is literally my sister in animal form. Anyways, so yeah. Digress. Morrigan came to me. She made me a more rounded person. She helped me stand up for myself more. She forced me to go down the path of the warrior, which I was always very adamant against the warrior path before her, like in video games or whatever, when you'd have to select a character type and there would be like the rogue, the mage, the archer, the whatever the fuck. I would never pick warrior. I would never pick like paladin. I would never pick any of that stuff, because I was like, no, that's too much. That's too aggressive. That's too raw. Raw is exactly the word that I'm looking for. And now I'm very raw. I used to be like, no emotion ever, that's bad, because society, you know? And then when I finally became myself, I learned to accept that I have emotions, that it's okay to let them out and deal with things, and it's okay to be raw. It's okay to be that bitch. It's okay to be that person. It's okay to let it out and show it off to the world, because that's humanity. Mary Morning says they help to raise the vibration for all of us. I don't know about that. Not in my experience, at least. But perhaps. Mary Morning said, so do you consider yourself an old soul? I do and I don't, because I've been told that I'm an old soul, and a lot of the time I do feel as though I have had experience in things where I have actually, in this life, had no experience. But that could just be the way I was brought up. Because I try to think very realistically about these things. I don't... someone doesn't tell me something, or I don't see a sign and I'm automatically like, this is what it is. I very realistically think, okay, could this just be a bird flying overhead just because birds do that? Or is it a sign for something? Do you know what I mean? I try to be very realistic. So when people tell me, oh, you're an old soul, I'm like, am I? Or am I just mature for my age? Like, someone on my Instagram, I've made a shit ton of posts on there. And one person, before they knew my age in this life, they were like, how old are you? You're so, like, knowledgeable on these things. And I'm like, it's just my experience. I wouldn't call it knowledge necessarily, but I told them and they were like, wow, you're definitely an old soul. And I was like, okay, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I do know that I've had at least 4 other lifetimes, though. And the previous one, the one before this one, I was burned alive. That's how I know I died. And I don't know exactly what era it was. I think it was like the 1400s, 1500s maybe. I didn't look that into it because I had that meditation. And I'm going to be real. I wanted to know how I died, basically. I was like, death, yes. How did that happen in the past life? And I looked at all my past lives, actually. But that one in particular, the most recent one before this one, stood out to me in my brain. Because I was burned alive. And I don't know what for. I didn't stick around long enough. I was like, this is not a very comfortable feeling. So I left that. I should probably revisit that. Mary Morning says most witches have been witches in previous lives. Once a witch, always a witch. That's probably true. I probably was being burned at the stake for accusations of witchcraft. But yeah, I need to look more into that. I need to get like a past life reading from somebody or something. I don't know. Yeah. But I think that was how to best explain my... Oh! To continue down the Morrigan tangent that I am on, please excuse me for that, but it's a subject I like talking about, and nobody in my real life wants to talk about it with me, so I'm going to talk about it now, while I have this platform. So, the first time recently, because Morrigan for, I don't know, all of last year, so not all of last year, but like for a lot of 2016, she would be in for a long time and she would send a bunch of things at me and then she would leave for a long time and just let me sit with it and process it. And one of the coolest things ever that happened to me that I mentioned in my experience with the Morrigan video was I was laying in bed. I was like, okay, she's gone for right now. She's been gone for a really long time. I don't know what's going on. Am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing to do? And she fully said in my ear, like it was a word that could have been right next to me. She said, yes, just yes, that's all. I was like, oh, that was a wonderful feeling. And then I saw like a bunch of white lights around me, whatever. But yeah, so that was cool. Wolf Raven Handsome said, she sought me because of my rawness. She told me by losing both parents to death before 8 years old, I had to become a warrior. That's when I stopped being comforted. I've learned very young we were alone. I'm very sorry for your loss, by the way. But I do understand your viewpoint on that. That makes a lot of sense to me. Especially considering her being her. Morrigan being Morrigan. Yeah, she kind of just throws it at you, doesn't she? She kind of just, like, says, okay, you're gonna be a warrior now. Like it or not. This is what's happening. I have heard of people who come to her and have been like, okay, I want to be a warrior. And she's either rejected them or worked with them, but for most people, from what I hear, they just kind of they just kind of get thrown into it. Pixie Doo says, I have always been a warrior. She contacted me on contacting my ancestors and, she contacted me on contacting my ancestors and land sovereignty. Once I went with her message to me, the results have been amazing, finding myself. Yeah. So, and she's such a diverse goddess. I talk about this a lot. She is the shapeshifter. She is so different and individualized for every single person. And this might get into definition of deity discussion, whatever, different video. But she's very unique. She will show herself in a way that is unique to you and to what you need to become a warrior and to get into that energy. It says I have a very bad connection, so if there are problems, please let me know. But, yes, so very highly individualized, as this path is, in my opinion. Everything is personal, everything is unique to you, everything is individual to your path. And I feel like working with the goddess Morrigan adds to that even more. This lighting is shit, I'm sorry. But, yes, so, that's my opinion on that. Those have been my experiences with the Morrigan. And yeah, so, thank you guys for giving me all these topics to discuss in future videos. That will be interesting to film when I get back. I've now got a plethora of ideas. Yeah, okay. She's telling me this is what I needed. Thanks, I guess. I'm always like that whenever she's like, see, I told you so, bitch. You should have done this. I'm like, okay, you're right, whatever. Because I'm very much the type of person... I'm very stubborn. Let's say that. I'm stubborn. I thank my Taurus moon for that. But, yes, so... What else? I don't have very much to say anymore. I think I've babbled for long enough. I might be finishing up the chat in a hot minute if there's no other questions, comments.
How many now?
Can you leave? I'm dead ass. Please leave. Thank you. Yeah. So there's an example of my assertiveness. Aw, thank you, Pixie Doo. She said they said we love you for you. Yes. Everyone needs to be themselves. Unless they're a dick, then they need to be a better version of themselves. Yeah, Sisters. Sisters. Oh, I'm about to go on a tangent again. Woo. Okay, that's another thing. So, if you've heard in my past videos, I sing. I only sing during ritual or spell work or as an offering to her. But she accepts it, obviously, and I know this is something that's happening with Chris Ashburn right now, where Morrigan is trying to get her to sing publicly more often. Or I think that's what's happening. That's none of my business, really, but she has been encouraging my singing lately, and I am not about to do any of that now. That is, in fact, my most uncomfortable self, which she's gonna throw me into it either way, so, yeah, so she's probably gonna make me do that. That is a whole other thing, though. Okay, bye, Mary Morning, thank you for watching. So, I'm done talking now, officially. That's all. If anyone has anything else they'd like to say, or, start another discussion, that's fine. It's been 56 minutes. This is the longest video I've ever done, and it's killing me that I don't have editing to cut out all my ums and fucked up sentences, but, there's an Anything else? If not, I'm going to end this chat in like 5 seconds. So, take your time. I'm going to take a drink of tea. This chat was much more successful than my last live chat. There are, I think, 3 or 4 people in the chat right now. And last time, there was 1. So, thank you to that 1. Thank you to everybody watching now. Thank you to everybody who watched it back. And, yeah, so, like I said, my uploading's got to recap briefly. See you at Simplistic Witch, thank you. To recap, I won't be here. I will not be uploading, so I'm uploading 2 videos today. This will be one of them. I'm going to be in Arkansas. I won't be able to upload. So I'm uploading 2 videos today, and you won't see videos from me for at least 2 weeks. So this coming week and then the one after that, possibly. I did the Grumpy Witch tag, and then we went off on a tangent. So I have many video suggestions. Thank you to everybody for giving me that. I'm just going to read out some of the chat that Wolf Raven Hampton just said. To me now at 40 years old, I can look back and know that I wouldn't be me if I had them. Sometimes our greatest challenges make us strong. Yeah, you're right, Wolf Raven Hampton. You're absolutely right. Yes, so thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, I won't be around for a while. So, hi Johnny. Oh, you just came in at the end. Yeah, definitely if you're just coming in now, or if you would like to rewatch this fucking hour-long extravaganza mess, please feel free, obviously. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I really do appreciate. I know I don't say this very often, but I do appreciate all the suggestions and all the love that you people are sending me, because my definition of community is changing. I think that's going to be a common theme throughout the rest of my practice and throughout my channel, so. Officially done babbling. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you're just coming in now, go ahead and rewatch this video for some updates, for some info, for some discussion. Also, I might be doing live videos more often. Maybe. I don't know. They make me a little self-conscious, but maybe I'll start doing live videos more often. If you're watching after I've ended the live video, or if you're telling me right now, please comment below if I should do more, because I do enjoy them. Interacting is something very fun for me, but also there's no editing, so my unfiltered bitch comes through. I'm done talking. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching, and blessed be. Gonna finish it now.